Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mental Health Experience. Today, I wanted to talk about something that uh, has I have gotten wrong my whole life, and I think the majority of people get wrong. And I think it's just because they don't have the tools laid out by the founder of cognitive behavioral therapy, Albert Ellis, and that is about anger. And I'm going to explain to you why. You made me angry. Everyone says that. You made me angry. You made me angry. And everyone is always blaming the external component of the way they feel. Their anger, whether they're mad or frustrated. You made me frustrated. This situation made me frustrated. So that is irrational and not true by any means. So let me give you an example that Dr. Albert Ellis used when he created cognitive behavioral therapy. And if you don't know much about CBT, it is basically the gold standard for every type of psychotherapy on earth for all mental illnesses. And it doesn't even have to have a mental illness, it just helps with everything in your life. See things in a more rational sense, because most people live their lives completely irrational and they don't even know it, because I didn't know it until I started learning about CBT and then understanding I was the cause of my own misery. So if you are on a train platform and someone is poking you in the back repeatedly over and over and over and over, and you're like, man, son of a bitch, oh my God, I'm gonna freak out. And then you turn around and it's a blind person and they're poking you with their stick. You immediately say to yourself, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were there. You went from really angry to not angry. The situation didn't change. You're still being poked. Your perception of the situation changed. So your perception of a situation is the only reason you're angry every single time. Nobody is making you angry on the road. I used to say, oh my God, this person cut. No. Who says, where's the universal law that says we have rules to keep people from hurting each other on the road, but who's to say this person is not allowed to cut you off? They cut you off, and then you have to accept that. And the problem is, and this is still something it's hard for me to grasp, the reason what makes these things tough is because in order to, when you look back at the perception of the problem and say, I am the one with my perception of the situation causing me to get angry, that takes conscious effort, and it doesn't, like for me, I was an explosive kid my whole life. I've been working on this for about 9 or 10 months pretty consistently, daily, and I'm still not fully recovered, from not even close. I still get angry. I have to be conscious and say to myself, I am the person, I am the reason. It's my perspective of why I'm getting angry. My anger has gone down a lot. I've gotten out of the car on the road. I've gotten into lots of fights, screaming at family members. So these people are allowed to say what they want, and it's your responsibility as a human being to your interpretation and your perception of how you handle that problem. So remember what I said again about, if you rewind and listen to what I said about the stick, that is exactly that. So like someone could cut you off on the highway and almost kill you, and you're like, motherfucker, and then you realize that that person's family just got murdered. That's an extreme example, but your perception would change. So your perception of the situation is always the cause of the belief that you hold. Our beliefs dictate everything, especially when it comes to anger. So a little bit about Albert Ellis. So Albert Ellis was a psychotherapist who created cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the gold standard to this day. He's co-authored 75 books, 800 peer-reviewed studies. He had the Albert Ellis Institute in New York, and that came from REBT, which was rational emotive behavioral therapy, and all of this comes from Stoicism, which is a philosophy by the Greek and Roman Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca the Younger, and everything like this that I had to learn from someone else to understand that we are the majority of our own misery. I'll say this, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist. MDD, major depressive disorder, is not caused the majority of the time by an imbalance of hormones. That's why antidepressants usually have terrible outcomes. Your belief about yourself or something is causing it. So let me explain a little bit better for this one. Let's say you hate yourself and you have severe MDD over it. Society and most allopathic medical doctors will tell you that take this antidepressant, will mess with your serotonin and dopamine levels and that. When we look at the research, that's not working, and it never did. It might take the edge off, which can help a lot of people and save a lot of people if they're really in distress. But to fully recover from these disorders, you have to look at your beliefs. Okay? So what would be a belief that would say something? I hate that I'm ugly and I don't accept that, and I'm so depressed. I hate myself. Well, over time, gradedly, you realize that you can accept yourself no matter what you look like or your people live with some of the worst conditions you could ever imagine. Ever. Imagine living in an iron lung. Imagine having ALS, you're completely paralyzed from the neck down, quadriplegic, even paraplegic, blind, and people live happily. How is that? Is there something different within them? No, their perception about their situation is different. That is the cause, that is the root of everything. That is what Albert Ellis had taught through cognitive behavioral therapy for years, especially when it comes to self-hatred, depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. Perfectionism. Humans are fallible, humans make mistakes, and humans are gullible by nature, and that's just how it works. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video about anger. My dogs are about to start going crazy. Here they come. I'll do it for that. Okay, bye. But yeah, Albert Ellis, books I'd recommend are How to Stubbornly Refuse to Make Yourself Miserable About Anything, Comedy Yes Anything, and The Myth of Self-Esteem. And I will definitely make a video on why self-esteem is a myth from the teachings of Albert Ellis and how self-esteem is stopping you from having unconditional self-acceptance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good day.